Someone posted 10 local SEO mistakes business owners make, and most of this list is genuinely good advice. I'd signed my name to 8 of them and actually use them for my clients. But one of them will get your Google business profile suspended, and it's presented like it's something that most top businesses are doing. So let's go through all of them. Where I actually agree, where I don't, and what you can actually do about each one. So the first mistake that this is one page targeting every city they serve. This is super bad, and I fully agree. This is a big mistake because Google actually wants to see every single market you operate in. That actually makes sense instead of you just listing every single market like 10, hundreds, tons of pages. You want to focus on the ones that matter. So simple fix, one page per city. It has to be generally different photos that actually matter to that location, reviews attributed to that area that they say the location. If it's in London and they say London in the review, you can put it, it's better targeted. And any other type of actual copy that matters for that location that actually is relevant. And the data is that dedicated page is 1 of 187 on the White Spark 2026 local organic table out of 210, and geographic city/neighborhood keyword relevance of content is number 2. So top 2 factors on the whole table. This is a study done by top SEO agencies and top, so you can trust this data. You also want to avoid having thin pages for those location pages that you do. They actually need to be good ones that will actually convert, because if you do thin pages instead of one good page, Google will see that, they will penalize you, and the clients also won't get the information they need from that page. And again, you'll be penalized and lose on those leads. Just focus on the markets you actually want to target and the markets you have reviews, photos for, or any type of local assets that you can attribute to that page, that you have expertise on that area. If say you're a roofer and they do a certain type of roofing in that area that no other company does or no other location has, you can say that in your copy. So second mistake is linking the GGP or Google Business Profile to their own page. I agree completely with this. So your profile inherits strength from the page it points at. Point it at a generic home page without location, and you want to target a certain location, and you've just wasted that connection. So the fix is simple. The GGP website link actually goes to the location page for that address that you are on. Say you're in London, you don't want to target Liverpool. You target a London location page. Usually if you just target one location, this is a non-issue, but if you target your local business that goes to a multiple location, you should focus on the one that you are physically. Third mistake, chasing keywords that bring browsers instead of buyers. Now, again, fully agree with this, and this is where most SEO budget gets burned, because they burn it on blog posts and how-tos, DIY, can I, is it worth, what's the price, things like that. Those are people that are looking for themselves to do that actual job instead of hiring someone, and you don't want that. You want actual people that are looking for things like service plus a town, service plus near me, service in emergency, cost, quotes, company. They actually want to hire someone that has expertise to say handle a roofing job, handling a plumbing issue. How to replace a roof tile? That's a browser. Roof tile replacement in Clifton, that's someone that's looking for actually a service provider. So here's some queries that browsers search. How to fix a leaking roof, types of roof explained, is roof coating worth it, do it yourself flat roof repair. And here's queries that buyers actually search for: emergency roof repair in Clifton, roof replacement cost, roofers near me, flat roofing company quotes. Super simple to actually distinguish between browsers and buyers. And you want the second one. You want to target those keywords in your pages, your service, your location pages, and even maybe dedicated pages with maybe a quote calculator, something like that, if you have those kinds of use price, and you can also maintain it. Fourth mistake, ignoring the FAQ question. Again, agree. I fully agree, because it's usually the easiest thing you can actually do on this list that I'm going over. So 6 to 8 questions at the bottom of every page, that's it. You already answer these questions on the phone every week, you're just writing them down so you avoid keep answering them all the time, and people can actually get that information before they call you. Phrase them the way a customer would say them, and you also put the town inside the question, but avoid overstuffing the locations, and make the answer genuinely local for that location or that service plus location. And you don't do the same paragraph under every city page. Everything is different on every page. And you also need to ask properly. So if someone looks for a flat roofing replacement cost Okay, the prices may depend on the location, the service that they require, the actual amount of time you need, also the materials and a lot of other variables. You can actually just give a range instead of a fixed price, a real time frame. If people often ask you about how much time does it take to do that job, and if they want more information, you can always put, if you need more information, just call us or send a quote request. Here's some example. How much does a roof replacement cost in Clifton? How long does a roof replacement take? Do you do emergency repairs at the weekends? Will you deal with my insurance company? How do I know if I need a repair or a full replacement? These are usually questions that they will ask on the phone. If you answer them on the website, you won't have to keep repeating yourself on the phone. Number 5, building zero backlinks. Agree, because quality/authority of inbound links to a domain is third of 187 on the White Spark 2026 local organic table. There's actually a huge benefit to having backlinks, and if you are competitive or your keyword is super competitive, say London plumber, roofer in London, those are super competitive keywords. If you don't have backlinks, you will get left in the 5th page, 10th page, and you won't actually get quotes. So the fix for local business. You don't need to actually do a link building campaign or hire big agencies for this. You just need to claim the ones you already earn. Your suppliers, your trade association, the clubs you sponsor, local press. Those are easy to get and won't cost you much. Here's what you don't want to do, and this is where most money gets wasted. 5,000 backlinks for £30 on Fiverr. The bulk directory blast. Basically, you get a spreadsheet with thousands of links on it, and rankings won't move a single position because they don't focus on the ones that actually matter. They are on sites nobody reads. They are basically spam links that don't provide any type of ranking factor for your website or your pages. One link from your local builder's merchant on a page listing the contacts they supply beats every one of those 5,000 links you got from Fiverr for £30, because these are highly relevant backlinks and they are more organic, so Google values them more. If you're not sure which of these mistakes you're actually doing, you can book a call with me and I'll do a free local SEO audit for your website and your GGP profile and help you figure it out. The link will be in the description so you can start getting more quotes, ranking better, and actually closing more clients. 6th mistake, generic business name. The data says is right, the execution is where people get suspended. Keywords in the GGP business title is number 3 of 187 on the White Spark 2026 local pack/maps table. One of the single heaviest maps signal. But you cannot just rename your profile and add a keyword. Your GGP name must be your real business name, the one on the van, the invoices, the paperwork. And if needed from Google, you can actually present those papers. So Google's own line, including unnecessary information in your business name isn't permitted and could result in the suspension of your business profile. So you want to avoid that. The fix, the legitimate one, if you want a keyword name, register it properly when you start. Or if you have an established business, you can do a DBA or a trading name. Then use it consistently on your signature, your website, your paperwork. Then it's your real name and it's allowed by Google. That's why most people do it. If you go right now and search for London roofer, plumber in New York, you'll see most of them include plumber in the name or some sort of similar keyword, and also the location, because Google values those keywords in the GGP profile and even in your domain name, which I've already done some videos on. Next one, NAP impossible, because your name, address and phone number need to be identical everywhere on the internet. But here's a slight caveat, because everywhere on the internet is pretty broad and hard, because some places you might not be able to modify and some places might not even actually matter. But NAP, meaning website's actual code matching GGP NAP, is number 15 of 187 on the local pack, and consistency of citations on primary search engine is number 28. So again, highly relevant. But the wording is something to be aware, because primary search engines, meaning Google, Bing, search engines that actually can see those directories, those links, those citations. Because a citation on a page Google hasn't indexed does absolutely nothing. This is why you want to focus on the ones that are indexed, the ones that actually show on the SERPs, meaning the actual searches if you search for your company right now. And those cheap Fiverr packages that I talked about earlier are actually full of those that don't show on Google, on Bing, on any type of search engine. Here's how to actually check which ones you actually need to change. So you copy your business name, paste it in Google inside quote marks, and see which listings actually come back. If it doesn't show up in Google search, if it doesn't show up in Google search, it isn't a citation. It's a page on a website nobody reads. You only care about those that actually appear on the searches, the ones people can actually see. The fix in priority order: your own website first, then your GGP, then the platforms that actually searching and ranking on Google, on Bing, that are ranking on Google, on Bing, Apple Maps, Bing Places, Facebook, and the one or two trade directories that show up when you search for your own service. Get those identical, same street or ST in this case, same suite number, same phone number, then stop. Directory number 60 isn't the reason you're not ranking. Fix the ones that actually matter and don't waste times on the other ones. Number 8, and this is one I actually faced a lot with my clients, which is no review strategy. Even though I always tell them you need a consistent review strategy, this one is super hard because you need to actually ask the person that acquired your service after the job if they are satisfied and would leave you a review, because this is the best place where you can actually get a video review, you can actually get photos of the job, and they will write you a better review because you're on top of their mind. You just did the service, they actually saw what you did instead of waiting maybe 1 month and then asking for the service. So ratings is number 6, quantity is number 9, and recency is number 11 in the map spec. So ask in person, on site, while they're standing happy with your job. Because a month later, a text or even email, they will just not see it or ignore it. In person is always better. There's a bit more pressure, but you will get more reviews from them if you just ask them. Because more people are happy to do it, but they just need to be asked. And you also have to remember, even though reviews are ranking factor, the recency, the quantity, the quality, all those things, it's a ranking factor, but they are also a conversion factor. The more reviews you have and the more relevant they are to that person that needs a certain job, like say a flat roofing repair, and they see a ton of flat roofing repairs with images, with the videos, with a lot of actual good testimonials from your service, they will be more inclined to actually call you and actually book that job with you instead of your competitor, which has none of those. Number 9, one Google business profile try to cover an entire metro. This is one I disagree with. Do not do this because it's a direct violation, not a gray area. Google's own copyline says, do not create more than one page for each location of your business, either in a single or multiple accounts. Because a service area business gets one profile for its real central location, with the service area set, not one per quadrant. Because here's what actually happens. The actual profile gets flagged as duplicates and suspended, and it can put your real listing under review too, and you can lose that one, get suspended, or might not even be able to recover if you have a ton of photos there, if you get a ton of leads, if you have a lot of reviews there, you might lose all of that. But here's what you can actually do. If you have generally multiple staffed locations, which some business actually do, then yes, each one of those gets their own profile. That's not a trick, that's just having multiple locations. So if you have multiple physical locations, you can actually do that. The fix is super simple. One profile, correct service area and location page on your website for each service you want to target. But if you have multiple locations, you can build those profiles for multiple locations and avoid getting suspended. Now, number 10, signing with a mega agency. So you basically become an account number, a junior employee fresh out of college runs your campaign, and you wonder why nothing is moving, why the metrics they are sending, even though they might be high, are not getting you the calls, the quotes, the actual clients. I half agree, and I'll be upfront that I'm a freelancer, that I do SEO, so take my answer with that in mind. The real problem isn't agency side, it's whether the person doing your work actually understands your business, understands local SEO, and what actually will get you quotes, what actually will get you calls and clients. Because a big agency with a good specialist on your account will beat actual one-man band who's just guessing. But a junior with your checklist loses to both. But here's the bigger point, and it applies to whoever you actually hire. Watch the right numbers. Most reports will lead with rankings because ranking are easy to make look good, because say they'll rank your website for blog posts and other keywords that are browser intent, so people just browsing instead of actually having purchase intent. That's easy to rank. And neither one of those queries, even though if they reach number one, they will get okay a lot of visits, but neither one of those queries or blog posts or any type of page that isn't buyer intent will actually convert to a call, quote, a client. The numbers that actually matter: how many calls and inquiries actually come in, how many of those actually you turn into jobs, how many of those are actually well informed before they call you. Those are the things that matter, and these are the things I do with my clients. I do a call with them every single month where I go over what's actually going right. Are you getting more leads? What's not going right? Do you want more calls instead of quote requests? Because a plumber doesn't want quote requests as much as he wants calls, because they focus more on emergency service. But a roofer, okay, they might prefer quote requests. It's just, these are things that you need to be aware of when you're trying to hire someone to actually take care of your business, because this might be the difference between you spending thousands a month and getting zero back, or spending thousands a month and getting tenfold, 100-fold that. So that's what I actually focus on: buyer intent, people that are actually searching for someone to do the job, instead of blog posts. None of the websites I manage have those blog posts. Focus on leads, calls, quotes, things that actually move your business, and you can actually get return on your investment instead of rankings or keywords on top of Google. Those don't matter. What matters is, are you getting more calls? If you're paying more, do you keep getting more and more and more? Because at some point it will stabilize, but as long as you can get a consistent amount of quote requests that you can deal with and close, you should be happy. But if you can't get those, you should maybe look for someone else, or another company, and a freelancer, or someone that actually will get those calls. So a pretty solid list. 8 of them are pretty solid out of the 10. Just need to be aware of that Google Business Profile locations, and also about hiring someone that will actually get you the calls. If you need any help with your local SEO, your website, your GGP profile, you can book a free audit with me, a call with me, where I'll go over your website, what's the best strategy going forward, so you can start getting more calls, closing more clients. The link will be in the description. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.